don't get me wrong, it's a good win for West Ham, but there's also some negatives that we have to talk about and take out of that game yesterday. Welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. This is the post-match breakdown, the morning after the game yesterday. I had cricket training and everything else stopped me doing one straight after the game, so I did a quick 2-minute one, just to round up my thoughts. And here is my more in-depth version of that. Now I've had time to digest it overnight and let my feelings do the talking now. So obviously we will break down the game. First half, I thought it was just like it has been for the last good few months. It was meh. That's what it's been from West Ham, just meh, just average, just nothing special. And we went in at half-time 0-0, which was not a surprise the way we played. And Villa, lots of people have mentioned on YouTube channels, the diving, the time wasting, the injuries, it was atrocious. There was a reason for that whole game. There was about 10 minutes injury time, adding the two halves of injury times up, because first half they were dropping like flies here, there, and everywhere. Yes, I know we had 2 injuries in the second half, but in the first half, they were the time waiting in the first half. You could tell they came for a point, and they didn't get one in the end, and 2 right too. But first at half time, I was just thinking this is just what we've been used to for the last few months. We can't seem to score a goal, and I could just end up fizzling out or Villa getting a late win. That's what I thought at half time. The second half came, and that's when it started to get interesting because the injuries struck, which was not ideal. But in the state of the game, I think the substitutions changed the game. But let's have a look at the timeline then. So our first substitution came in the 52nd minute. Now, just before that, Antonio went in for a challenge where he came in from behind trying to nick the ball. He overstretched his hamstring too much. You know what's coming if you haven't watched it. And he went down, and we saw him holding his right hamstring. We thought, right, that's him done for the season. He stood back up, went on for another 2 minutes, I think it was, and then back down again, off. And of course, with Vlasic and Bowen both out injured, then the only other option was to bring on our Ukrainian international on Andrei Yarmolenko. It was written in the stars, wasn't it? He came on to a fantastic reception. He clapped the West Ham fans when he came on. A really heartwarming reception. And then, how long did it take for the goal? 70th minute, the goals. We'll come back to the other substitutions for Kressel and Fredericks in a minute, but I've got to talk about this first now. So on the 70th minute, Saeed Benrahma gets the ball down the left-hand side. He passes it quite flat because I don't actually think he meant to pass it to Yarmolenko. He hit it very hard and flat. A fantastic one-touch control from Yarmolenko. Turn on the other foot, on the outside of his boot, curled it into that bottom right-hand corner. Now I've just got to... Andrei Yarmolenko, that is absolutely brilliant. For everything that must be going on in his head, and I've watched his post-match interview this morning that he did right after the game. Absolutely speechless. The geezer was speechless because the reception that we gave him, and you could just tell on the TV there were goosebumps hit me when that goal went in, and you saw his emotions, and you saw how the crowd was reacting, and how special it must have been to be in that stadium. But it puts things into perspective because he scored that, and I said the first thing I said was that was written in the stars. He goes over to the corner flag, he celebrates, and all of a sudden it comes to him, and he breaks down into tears. And there is the picture that's been circulating rounds where all of the West Ham players have been, comforting him. I've got to find a picture. Where is it? Comforting him big time, and he's crying. He's literally in tears. You can see him here. He's broke down, and honestly, what he's done and what he's come through, and how we played yesterday was absolutely exceptional, and it's definitely something I will remember for one of the highlights of my season, because it may not be influential in us finishing in the top 6 now, but I don't care, because that was a truly special moment to be a West Ham fan, and a special moment just to be a football fan overall. But let's track back a little bit. Let's go on to that substitution on the 52nd minute now. 57th minute. So this was just 5 minutes after the Antonio substitution. So we were all a bit, Moyes not on a striker, this and that, and the other is going to come back to bite him. He's going to get stick and all this, and then Cresswell goes down, and I'm like, oh god, this is a catastrophe. This is, and I'm sitting there thinking, we haven't got another left back at this football club. What are we going to do? So when he was done, I was just trying to think things out. I was like, well, could you bring Diop on and go to a back 3/5? But what he did, which I suppose worked in the end, because Fredericks did all right down that right hand side, he moved Johnson to the left, which he had to do, but I just don't like it because Johnson is a completely different player than the left hand side. I didn't think he had a fantastic game at right back, but left back, he did okay, to be honest. He got switched from right back to left back, and you've got to give him some due. He was decent, and you could tell it's not his favoured foot down there. You could tell it's not his favoured position. He hates playing at left back, but circumstances mean that he had to, and Fredericks went on that right hand side, and I'm like, if we score now, I've got Fredericks bombing down that right hand side who doesn't know how to defend. I'm like, I'm fearing for the worst here. At this moment, at 0-0, I was like, I'll take a point now, because they were just starting to bring on all of their players off the bench. They had the likes of Leon Bailey and Buendia. They were starting to bring all these players on, and I'm thinking, oh no, everything's going to go against us here. But of course, Yarmolenko scored the 70th minute. They made a substitution, Aston Villa. Buendia came on for Douglas Luiz on the 79th minute. Just 3 minutes later, we scored our second. Declan Rice, he didn't have his best game, but Declan Rice, superb. Picks up the ball, drops his shoulder, gets past two men, and drives into the Aston Villa half. Passes to the left of Saïd Benrahma. A peach perfect ball into the box from Saïd Benrahma for Pablo Fornals to just simply get a decent strike on it and hit it into the back of the net. He's probably fortunate that it went in, because I think it was Tyrone Mings was standing right in the view of Emi Martinez, and it almost went through Martinez. And if Mings weren't there, I think it would have been a comfortable save for Martinez, if I'm honest with you. But, I take it. Well, I'm Tyrone Mings, you did your job. You stood right in the way of your own goalkeeper to make it 2-0 to West Ham. And then you were like, right, come on, West Ham, let's see the game out now. Nothing silly. Nothing silly. You know what's coming. Nothing silly. 90th minute. I mean, when we scored that second goal in the 82nd minute, it's only 8 minutes until their goal. We just sat back and invited the pressure on. And we were defender-wise, we were hoofing it up. We weren't passing it, we were getting it, and then when we were hoofing it up long, and it was just a nervy 10 or so minutes. Of course, they scored, cracking goal to be fair, but just before Fabianski punched the ball out, which meant that they could get it back. Catch the thing, please, Fabianski. But you've got to take his hat off to him today. He made a couple of fantastic saves to keep it 0-0 at the time for West Ham. That one he tipped onto the post, and he did another one as well that I can't think of at this moment, but superb, and that's why he is our first choice goalkeeper and not Alphonse Areola. In my opinion, I'll get slaughtered for that, but he is the better goalkeeper currently on form. But overall, a good win, but we've got to talk about the injuries. Not good. We don't know how long these two players are going to be out for, and these two are they're not the backbone, but they're long stage. They've been here for a long time. You expect in the last few years, when the team sheet comes out, for it to be Cresswell at left back and Antonio up top. That's what we've come to learn with West Ham in the last few years. But obviously, we don't know how long they're going to be out for. Last time Cresswell had an injury, obviously it wasn't quite an injury. He went into the post at Man City away, and he was out for like 2 months. Antonio's been injury-free pretty much all season. He's been to Jamaica 2 or 3 times. Hasn't picked up an injury there. But I think, hopefully, it wasn't his hamstrings completely gone, because that's pretty much a month or his whole season gone there. But only 10 games left. If it's a bad one, I mean, it might be a bad one considering he hasn't had one all season. But however long he's out for, I'm sure if these two players or one of them is going to be available for Thursday, I'm sure David Moyes will keep it under wraps. So Sevilla don't know, but it's a massive game on Thursday against Sevilla, and you see those two players go down, two crucial players inside 5 minutes, and you think, Dave, you've overplayed them. Dave, where's the signings? And I know we keep coming back to it, and to be honest, I'm fed up of people talking about it, and I'm fed up of speaking about it, but you can't not talk about it when players go down, because we just haven't signed anybody. We should have a backup left back, we should have a couple of strikers, but we don't. So we're relying on Yarmolenko. We were fortunate Yarmolenko was in the squad yesterday, and he was ready to play, because if he wouldn't have done, we still have Bowen out, we still have Vlasic out, we would have David Moyes would have had to put one of the youngsters on. Now let's talk about that, because Thursday night I think Yarmolenko will start up top if everything goes well. But surely do one of these youngsters in one of these games in the next few weeks have a shot of playing any other manager in the Premier League? Maybe. David Moyes, probably not, to be honest with you. He'll just stick with Yarmolenko up top, and then fingers crossed Bowen and Vlasic will be back for Thursday night to maybe give Lanzini a rest, because he looks a bit run down as well yesterday. He didn't quite have the impact that we all hoped and we all know he can have, so maybe he's in need of a rest. But Saïd Benrahma yesterday, let's just mention him. First 15 minutes I thought he played really well, then he faded out of the game big time. I didn't even know he was on the pitch for a big proportion of the game, and then, you know, it wasn't two fantastic assists, but it was two good passes, 2 assists. Can you ask for much more? Yeah, you can, because I didn't think he was fantastic all over the game, but you know, he did the business. He got the 2 assists, and fair play to him. And does he start on Thursday? Probably, yeah. If Vlasic and Bowen and Antonio, if those players are still going to be out, he starts on Thursday, because we've got nobody else, I'm afraid. But thank you everybody for watching this video. Good win, but the injuries strike again. How long will these crucial players be out for? We'll have to wait and see. Does it damage our European hopes? Maybe. Depends how we play and how we set up on Thursday night. That's it from me. Come on, you Irons. Thank you everybody for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like on the video. Subscribe to Aston Official. If you are new, check out our channel sponsors, SRM Carver and Sun, by clicking the link in the description down below. You do that right this second, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys, and let's go on a European tour to the London Stadium on Thursday evening. Bye-bye.